Hello and welcome back to Stormveil Castle. We've stopped in this part of the area at this particular rampart tower. We last time jumped down at this part, I think, over here, and looped back up, and this is the last thing that we did. So let's go this way this time. Let's go up these stairs. So because I've talked about a lot of stuff in the last episode, I think I'm going to do this less thorough, I think. And I'm trying to skip things. I'm trying to not repeat myself that much. But this situation is quite interesting. Of course, this was broken off here due to an attack from a dragon, possibly. I wonder if you can get up there. Probably not, but I haven't found a way. So now you have someone shooting you with a crossbow, and when you come up here, this guy wants to fight you. Nothing dangerous really. The crossbows aren't really dealing that much damage. It's just a bit irritating. What you can do is jump across here and then kill this guy first, grabbing that item and going back. And this is quite an interesting tower, right? Because we have an outer wall in a tower, and then there's an inner wall, for some reason, occupied by this nonsensical part over here. But I wonder, this looks similar to a reused asset, but oh well. Here we can shoot out of, quite high up, but I guess people here are a bit taller. So I actually don't know how this works, because in the Souls titles there are always these humans or humanoids that are like a human, just bigger. How does this work, and why is my character always small? Even comparison, they're much taller, right? They're quite tall. So these humans are a subspecies of humans, I don't know. What do we actually have here? This is a wall beneath, or not beneath, close by this tower. What can you actually defend from here? You can't shoot this way because, well, I mean you can shoot now, but why would you shoot on top of a roof, right? So, and these crenellations are way too high, so they're not useful in any way. So why do they exist? Probably just for the optic, right? Because it looks better than a plain wall. But these won't work. Like, they would work if they were quite lower, so that I can actually, or so that people can actually shoot in between these spaces here, these parts, and then take cover in these parts. But we have arrow slits, so we have arrow slits, but crenellations. I think they're called crenellations, right? I'm not mixing up words, I hope. I hope I'm not mixing up stuff here. This is quite common, having crenellations on both sides, this one facing inward, because if there is actually someone invading and they get into the main part, we can still shoot them from here. So this makes sense, and this was used. Don't know why they're facing this way, because, well, apparently dragon attacks can't be fended off by mere walls, so having crenellations here is quite useless. Maybe they should use these spikes over here as well, because from this way there are only dragons attacking, right? This is quite interesting. This tiny little platform over here that exists for some reason. Don't really get why. Has no use to me. I don't feel... I mean, from a world design perspective, this makes... I mean, why? Why having this wooden platform over here? With bags as a filler or with bags as stairs? I don't really get it. From a level design perspective, yeah, this makes it a bit harder to get to this dude. But you can actually also get on here, so it's only level building, right? Then you can actually jump down here. I don't think there's any item. There's an item down there, but I have a different route from here on out. So these wooden structures, I don't know why they exist. I mean, potentially you could just jump on that platform and then jump down on this part. This is where the birds are, again. So don't get why this exists. Maybe they had a different layout in their minds before they finally built this one. Now to a little Assassin's Creed action here. We can actually jump over to this part of a different tower. And I completely don't get why these towers exist. Actually, there's a part that we can't access, right? This whole area? Yeah, we can't walk there. Because we are actually walking on the outside wall. And if you have a closer look, you can't see any doors. There are actually no doors leading on that platform over here or on that platform. Oh, why is this big open space here? I mean, this will catch rainwater, and then you have nothing to drain it. So this gets very heavy and potentially breaks through the roof. And it doesn't even look good. Does it? I think this is the part with a grafted scion in it, right? Is it? No, it's not. Or maybe it's... I am confusion. Let's just mark this. I want to see which part this is, because I can walk there. This might be... we will see. The layout is a bit tricky. So we're on this tower now. Our next move is getting into that tower, which makes no sense. Go down here, pick up this item, and then have a quote-unquote boss fight, because I had problems fighting this bird. Oh boy, and let's have a look at this design. This is the first time we see this bird. And this is not just a Stormhawk, this is a Stormhawk with a contraption on its face. It has a rod. For some reason, I don't know what the rod is doing. But in this pouch on his face is, I think, black powder that he can ignite with I don't know what. And then spew fire, basically. I don't know how they teach the bird this trick without burning itself in the face. Like, I don't mean, it's fantasy, right? But this is a very irritating enemy to fight. Grab this pose over there, and then more Assassin's Creed action. Same, again, chronolations here. I mean, this looks nice and makes it so that water can actually get in this gap. Yeah, this is just looks. No function whatsoever. There's a chimney over here, very nice, very nice. And then if you want to have this item that we saw on the other side, and I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. We can actually walk around here, and for some reason someone thought this was a good idea to build some wooden structure here to get to this part. I don't know why it just doesn't go down here. I mean, it's level design again, right? It doesn't seem... I mean, it's quite high up. Holy shit, that's quite high. And some... Can we actually... This is interesting now, I haven't seen that before. Is this where we climb up the ladder? No. No, it's not, is it? No, I don't see a ladder. There's a window there for some reason, which irritates me. But we can't jump into that window from here. I mean, I don't really get why there are rats on here. There's no item. And this is above the room where we can find the Misericord dagger thingy. I don't know how to pronounce it. Misericord is the best pronunciation I can do. But I don't get why there are rats on top. Like, even from my level design perspective, they're never coming down. Maybe you can jump on top of that and then... I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to talk about that gigantic hole down there. More chimneys. Luckily, these chimneys are broken down, so we can jump on these parts. Because this is apparently the only way we can get on this platform over here, and there are dudes here. So they're stuck for some reason over here. Yeah, they're just chilling here. They can't even... I don't like this part of the area, because it does nothing. You can't shoot down from here. You have a ladder over here. You can't get into these towers, because there's no door, nothing. For some reason there's this weird wooden contraption, the bridge part, where you can look inside. There's a... nothing. There's... I mean... this is something that can archers shoot out of, and it's a bridge between two gaps. But there is no door. How are you getting... I mean, what? Why? Why does this thing exist? Just for the claw talisman that can grab here? Is it just for one talisman? I mean, it looks interesting, but come on. I know you can jump on that other tower, but I want to look inside. Maybe there's some... No. No, I can't really look inside. Sad. Maybe from here? Do I have now? Yeah, nice. I can't look inside, sorry. Maybe with cheat engine, but I don't wanna. I don't wanna. I mean, this part is just for one talisman. I mean, what? You climb up there, pick up the talisman, jump down again, and keep on going. And by going, I mean down here. Don't ask me how they got up there. There must be a ladder somewhere that they've somehow lost. And this part is nonsensical as well. I mean, correlations against a wall. And this part is obviously for a ladder, so people can chill here, but... or maybe they put a ladder down here, and then they put a ladder up there to get on that nonsensical structure that we were on before. Now it makes sense. No, it doesn't, but it makes more sense. And we have correlations against this wall, because this is apparently somewhere where enemies run. Or where they expect enemies to be. Like, I don't get it. Now we can look inside there. And this is the part with the grafted scion. Which is not even on the map, but it doesn't matter being on the map. On this part, this is interesting, because once you jump down here, you don't necessarily, you don't have a problem, but it's getting quite dangerous here, because now we are facing multiple, what are they called again? Banished Knights, right. Let's have a look at their armor. I wanted to look at their armor, and this one is standing still. Because now we can see... Okay, let's grab this item. Now we can see this dragon statue on their head. And the horn. Whatever it depicts. I mean, either a omen horn, for some reason. I don't know why they would choose that. Or a crucible horn. Or maybe something, dragon something. But... And they have these spikes for... I think they're for horseback, to poke the horse, so... to signal it, go faster or something like that. And they look quite brutal, but hey. The armor itself looks awesome. And quite expensive, but oh well. Other than this armor, I mean, it looks expensive too. But not as expensive as this one. They're quite well armored. They were quite well armored. But this level makes sense. This part makes, from a world building perspective, this makes sense to me, because... Let's see, can I jump on top of that with... Yeah, nice. Because I can't see it from here. Why is this guy chilling on the ground? I don't know. These two towers here are the entrance. Yeah, they're the entrance. And the enemy army has to go, if they're invading from that side, they're going from these two towers. There's the main gate, they're getting shot by the ballistas. We will see that area shortly, and then they have to go in between these two towers and go up there, this path, and they will come out of... And again, these towers are inaccessible. No door, nothing. Then they have to go through this, and this is a death trap. Like, this whole castle is a death trap. Invading this castle from the front, from the entrance itself, is a death trap. You're not going to do this. Only with a uber army, like... I don't know how many men you need. But now we can see in the courtyard... Oh, I call it the courtyard. We could jump down here if you want to get a... if you want to get quickly to Godric, you can jump over here, go over there. In this room there's a grace, and then you can basically just go to Godric. Not very far off. So there are many ways here to get to the final boss, which is nice. I really like this, having multiple options. But I also like to pick up every single item, so a quick way was never an option for me. And now this is broken off, apparently. It looks like it's broken off, and we can for some reason get on top of this part. And you can shoot out of there. Oh, you're not... I mean... Do you need these slits? Because you can't really see the enemy army from here. Only when they're on these parts of the area. And when they're on these parts, they almost have won, in my opinion. When they're already on the walls, you can't really defend that. They are just overwhelming you. Yeah, here two dudes. Two dudes. One small, one bigger one. And this is what I quite like. I mean, this small bridge. I mean, this is interesting now. Because I'm not sure, it looks like... It kind of looks like it was broken off, like this was a closed area. This was closed off. But also, with the bridge it makes more sense. Because you can shoot down on enemies, this is the path they have to take. You have to shoot, you can shoot them from here. And you can actually assassinate some from here, because there's a ballista, there's another ballista. But we will deal with them in a short period of time. Be careful, there are two banished knights over here, so when you come from this side you want to aggro potentially this one first, lure him over there, deal with him there, and then fight this one. What you can actually do from this perspective, when you dealt with this one, you can crouch over here, shoot an arrow on this tower, he will turn around, and then you get a free backstab on them. Which is quite nice. And here we have quite the big area, again, to shoot down on enemies that are quite down there. I mean, it's easier to... It's too high up. It feels too high up for the purpose here. Ooh, that is nice. I've never seen these small slits before. But you can't really shoot through them. I mean, you can drop things down, but shooting through them will not help, because you're only hitting on the other wall there. Oh well, let's just keep going. I think I've talked about this part that makes no sense again, because there's no way getting into that wooden part over here. Again, more stuff to shoot. For some reason, this triggers me now a bit. This, like, why are there no correlations over here? I mean, this is a good position shooting down on the enemy, but it only exists over here. Just, what? Why? Where are we right now? We are walking around the room that I've marked. So that's good. Another banner with a lion. Probably a... what's it called? Symbol of Godfrey. Symbol of Godfrey. Jumping down reveals water. I hope this isn't their reservoir. Like, oof. But why are the correlations pointing towards the water? I don't get it. And why are there no correlations over here? This would be a very, I mean, maybe two, so you can build more ballistas here, but kinda wish there were some correlations over here to shoot the enemy coming from that gate specifically. But here we are now, and here for some reason is a what's it called? A fog wall with that you can unlock from the other side. So if the enemy gets up here, they have this as a potential way. But this is the way we get into this part of the area in front of the castle. And from here we can get rid of the ballistas very easily. And yes, you can climb up with ladders here. This is not a problem for me. But I don't get why they built these ballistas on wooden ground if they have stone right here. Doesn't make any sense to me why they built these extra platforms for ballistas, but oh well. It makes it look more interesting, to be honest. From a gameplay, or from a world design perspective, this makes more sense than this one. But this kind of looks more pleasant, having something to look at. Like, I mean, it looks better this way, for sure. And now we are in the courtyard, which is quite interesting. Looping around, we can pick up these items, and we are now above Gostok, this dude over here, gatekeeper. We can, oh yeah, let's crank this one, this very heavy looking contraption, and after we crank it, for some reason this lifts up from on its own. I don't know how this contraption works, like delayed like this, but hey. Maybe there's somewhere a weight that I push down to lift up the gate, but it's not completely lift up, but you usually don't need to lift it up completely, because we've already established, because there are small gates here, there aren't really that many things that require this big of a gate, because they can't fit through this tunnel, they can't fit through this gate, but potentially they could fit through this one. Then there's a grace over here, an item. Here we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 graces already. That's a lot. Getting another item over here, jumping down there makes no sense, we were there before. But this is quite the... No, this is again nonsensical. I don't get why they don't put a little hole in here, because then you could actually watch the bridge itself. But now, this was all high up like this, now it would just gather rain in here. This would just be a nightmare. Just imagine, when it rains, it can't drain out of here, and then it's getting all wet in here. And potentially, if the door holds shut, let's just imagine the door is closed and has a very tight seal, and it really rains. It rains really hard, and the water gathers up to this point up there. And you're trying to open the door. Then I think the door wouldn't open. But if you could actually open the door, then oh boy, surprise! You're getting wet today. You're not having a good day on the work. Like, oof. But oh well, there's some soldiers here you have to fight. Level design, level design. Be careful there. And here they're actually using these things, which I like. Portable cover. And they have actually a decent size. I mean, it would be better to make them higher up so you can actually... But I guess you can duck behind here. It's fine. It's fine. Then some palisades or whatever you call them. So horses can't run through them. Or are they even horse spikes? I don't know. Some bigger dudes. And I would advise you. This is just my opinion. You can do whatever you want when you go through the level. This is just what I always do. I came from up there, cleared this level, I activate that grace. I'm not resting at that grace because then everyone, I mean the ballistas would be manned again and you would get shot. So just activate that grace, get to this point over here, and what I don't, no, how do I phrase it? I wouldn't go over to that part quite yet. Because I'm doing it not, I'm not doing it right now, so I would go this way first, then get rid of this dude up there, get rid of this dude up there. You can deal with them with bow and arrow or throw stuff at them, or I mean melee isn't quite good. You could melee this one, but then you have to shoot this one, and then you're going to shoot the dude on this ballista, because this one fires 3 exploding bolts, so you don't want to get hit by that, especially not by the explosion. And then you're trying to shoot this one without getting shot yourself, and then jump over here, grab the item that he lost, maybe pick the flower that is over here. I really like that they have some nature over here. I really appreciate this. Despite the unusual way. Why is it getting so red all of a sudden? Oh, you have evening. I'm talking too much again. Great. Pick some flowers. Get the loot that he dropped. Maybe he dropped something, maybe he didn't. Then jump over to this part. Grab this item over here. Grab his loot. And then you have to decide for yourself if you're going closer, clear these 3 dudes and grab this item, but usually I like to grab this item and then I go back. But let's have a look at this one. How does this thing work? Because we have a dragon thingy, then we have what? He can pull on something there. I mean, this would potentially work as a cannon, but as a flamethrower? I mean, what are flamethrowers using? Of course they have a burning flame, and then they're using some kind of chemical to... they're shooting out some kind of chemical, like a garden hose, right? like your sprinkler system, with high pressure, so that it gets ignited by the flame, and then it burns. I don't know how this is working, because I don't see a tank over here with some kind of fluid or gas or whatever they're using here. What are they using? Butterflies. I think they are letting butterflies fly out of this thing, and then it burns everything. What a stupid thing. I don't know if it works or not. Probably not. But this looks nice. I really appreciate the look. And then again, you can see all these. This is a, what's it called? Dev box. I don't know what you would call this one. Well, it's deadly if you're an attacker and getting through here. You don't want to go through here. You're going to die. But after I've picked up this item, I like to go this way. Just because there's this Lion Guardian, or whatever they're called. And let's have a look at this enemy for now. Because this one looks interesting. Holy shit. It's supposed to be a lion. Quite gruesome, with missing fur. And for some reason chains wrapped around its body. Then there's a blade stapled into the arm, or hammered into the arm of this beast, so it couldn't walk. For some reason some chains around there. This blade has been broken off, but there's the same blade on this leg. And this is interesting now, because it has yellow eyes, which apparently means it's given grace, touched by grace. But then it has these horns, which kind of remind me of omen horns, to be honest. And apparently animals can get omen horns, I don't know. But if you're having trouble fighting this one, you can cheese him from in here, because when you're running through, he can't get to you. He can't get into this room. For some reason there's an invisible wall for them and they can't get into here. And this is interesting. This room is interesting, because this is a room leading towards the Divine Tower of Limgrave over here. To the bridge. And this is a reused asset. This is usually an elevator. And this whole platform, this is why there's a railing. For some reason, on the biggest elevators in these games, they put railings. But on very small and short ones, no, you can't just fall off there. But yeah, this was usually an elevator, and you can even see the platform up there. Let's see. Yeah, up there is a platform that you could use the lift to get there. But now this is just a gate or doorway of some sort, with some armors bowing to you. And this looks quite awesome, and I really like the aesthetics of this place. But this is not part of... Actually, while it's raining, while it's cozy like this is now part of Stormveil Castle. I want to talk about this one, because this looks awesome. Holy shit, it looks awesome. And I think it's the same... similar statues as in here, right? Because here we have all these statues with swords, paying respect. I don't know, are they skeletons? No, they are not. Okay, these are humans. Humanoids. All the same statues. This looks awesome, holy shit. And this just makes this an important place, right? Having these big of flames over here, all these statues, quite expensive, looks awesome, I mean, all the detail, roots or branches. Earth tree. Basically, there are Earth tree symbols over here. Literally the Earth tree depicted there. Oh, these statues are different. Up there, they're the same as in the building itself. And here we have books. Dudes with books and dudes with swords. Maybe having to do something with scholarship and with protection, these swords. But they have robes, right? So maybe it depicts the strength of their faith or something. I don't know. I'm not good at the at oh my god. This motorcycle was loud. Oof. But yeah, well, this looks awesome. I mean, this feels like an important place, but this is where I'm going to stop now. I'm not going this way. Holy shit, that looks menacing. Holy shit, that looks menacing. Just imagine on... I don't have a bow. Just imagine they would light up these things on the sides, these... like on there, these pillars. There's fire on these pillars and then... Ooh! Maybe a big fire on top of the Divine Tower. That would look menacing. Ooh! Now I want to start designing stuff like this. Holy shit. And this looks kinda stupid, to be honest. We have this elevator thing that got reused. Of course, there's no way you can get up there. And then, because it's hollow. This whole thing is hollow. And with these towers on these sides. But it looks awesome. It looks great, except this tower. These two towers don't fit. I don't like this. They don't fit. And I've ignited this grace. So what I usually do from this point onward is I'm going back to the rampart tower. I usually go back to the rampart tower, and that's what I'm doing right now. Because the courtyard, because in the courtyard I'm going at last. This is the last thing that I'm doing. I mean, not the last, but I'm now trying to, let's say, we have a courtyard and there are many ways leading to that courtyard, and this is the only way that is left right now. And this is the reason why I want to go there. So go past these birds again. Already talked about them. And what are these things, by the way? Are they big torches? Something with wood. Maybe they're holding banners or something like that. And I've talked about it, you can't get into the tower. And this is weird. This part is now just weird. And I get it, level design, but from a world design perspective, this is just weird. From a wall on top of to a rooftop. You're now on a rooftop of a church or chapel, whatever. What's the difference? Ooh, let's have a look at this thing. Someone pouring water, but not really water. I don't know. I'm not good with imagery like this. Something, something, church, something, something. And a big bell over here that we can ring, but not really. You have to pull on that. And then you're losing your hearing because this bell is so loud. You might want to wear ear protection here. And for some reason they thought this was a good idea to put a ladder here on top of a roof of a church. I mean, I get it, maybe you want to maintain, do some maintenance up here, and you need a way to get on top of this church. But also keep in mind, I want to... Oh, let's... Before I'm dropping down here... Let's keep in mind, this bridge is built on something quite dangerous. I mean, just imagine this breaking off and then you're falling down there. And this hole is again interesting. It looks like it's not broken. How do I say this? I mean, I think they've built Stormveil Castle around this hole. This hole was there before Stormveil Castle was there, and not vice versa. It wasn't just the ground didn't just collapse, but maybe it did because they're actually roots. So I'm not sure. Maybe it collapsed, maybe it didn't. There might be a reason for the collapse. That are we getting, I think, in the next episode, because I'm already talking for like 40 minutes or something like this. But yeah, if you want to get everything, every single item, you want to drop down here. And again, something we can't... I have to look at this. We can drop down in here. And this is what I don't like. There's no way! We can see it keeps on going. It keeps going on there. We have these churchy windows with brick wall behind it, by the way. And then there's like a bookshelf. Why? Open up. And by the way, in here you can't attack. As you can hear. Can't attack. This is because we have an NPC in here. And it's a church. But this is Roger. I'm not talking to Roger right now because... Actually, I do.
Ah, nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed.
Yes.
I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormveil Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind.
Here we can decide to tell him or not tell him, but doesn't really matter. Just tell him.
I see. Here to challenge Godric and lay your hands upon a great rune, are you? You can see it then, I take it. The guidance of grace. Well, enjoy it while you can. I'm tarnished, like you. But unlike you, I've seen neither hide nor hair of this guidance for the longest time. Still, I won't forget how it felt when I first came here, to the lands between. I'm privy to a few magical battle arts. Would you care to learn one? As a fellow tarnished, once guided by grace, I'd love to help you out. If it please.
This is interesting. What does it mean to lose the guidance of grace? You can no longer see the guidance, which are these rays leading these rays here. These are the guidance of grace. But what does it mean? Because when I die, I'm getting resurrected, right? At a grace. Can't they see these graces anymore, or what? Or only the guidance? Because when they're dying for good, they're not resurrecting. So when you lose the guidance of grace, you lose the ability to resurrect? Maybe? But let's have a look at this first, because this looks quite intriguing. First of all, someone holding something of a part of a tree. Possibly an earth tree, maybe. More earth tree stuff. Or are these fruits? Look the same thing like this, dude. He just picked something from this tree. He's looking to the sky, or they're looking to the sky. I don't know if it's male or female. Quite interesting. Haven't seen anything like this before. Maybe I have. Maybe in the Church of Anticipation. I don't know. Oh, more stuff. Someone holding a vase. Praying. Something. I don't know. I don't know, I don't care. I don't really care. I care about level design because in level design I'm better than in telling you what this means. Basically. And another picture of Godfrey, right? This is Godric. Godfrey is the good dude, the big boy, and this one is the not so big boy, very small boy. Well, still being big, but. And this looks fascinating. So, do you think this is collapsing, or do you think this hole was there before? Because there are roots. But this doesn't look like it's been broken off? Maybe. Maybe not. But let's just imagine this was closed and was there a slope? I don't really know. Looks kind of weird. And same thing, why is there no what's it called? Like railing, something like this, so I don't fall down here. Oof, just fell down almost. And I think we've already talked about a room like this, right? Papers on here, looks quite cozy. No hole again. So you're dying of smoke inhalation. Smoke is the word that I'm missing. It was like steam? No, it wasn't steam. And smoke, my god. I'm missing words here and there. Do I get closer? I'm getting closer to the one, okay. I really like this one. I really like these bridges connecting to structures, to buildings. I really like the open part here. I mean, rain would be a problem again, but you can potentially put holes down there so the rain falls onto the next part, which isn't good as well. And now this is... oof, this is... Stop destroying stuff down there. There's a grafted cyan, as you can see. But this is quite a gruesome sight. Where are you running? Like, what? This is quite a gruesome sight, because these are all body parts that can be used for grafting. Basically, I don't know how it works in this game. They're probably just... Well, I know how it works, because Godric is doing it in the boss fight. I mean, he's cutting off one of his limbs and putting on another limb there. It's like Lego, just with body parts. And with more pain, apparently. But not much to say about this room other than this is the butchering room. Well, it looks like the butchering room, where they assemble or disassemble their specimens. There's even a troll, a lot of bodies, and dogs feeding upon these bodies. Ooh, and I really like this room because... it's not the Godric, it's not the grafting room, it's the office or thingy where you can eat stuff, or apparently where you can read stuff. And a dude patrolling. Then we have a little chest over here with the mimic bale thingy. But let's have a look at this room itself. A lot of bookshelves, birds again, because this was once ruled by the Storm King. Then there are some Earth Tree banners. Interesting, interesting. What do we have on here? A face? With horns out of their eyes? Maybe? And a knight? I have no idea what I'm seeing right now. And leaves, maybe Earth Tree again, or Victory. I don't know. I really like wood furniture as walls. Looks awesome. Another banner with... I don't know what that is. Something with wings. Maybe. It's so low. It has a so low resolution. I don't know why. Everything is on max right now. Ooh, there we have some pictures that we've seen before. Well, that's it. That's basically a room where you can breed stuff. And potentially also eat. And here are the ones on charge, maybe. And then there are the lower ranked dudes eating here. But it's quite the fancy room, so they're probably the high-ups doing stuff in here. Then we have this nonsensical part again, because there's no way... You have a wall here, but why is this wall here? Gameplay, so it's a secret. But... world-building perspective? Like... why? Why making this a wall? It makes no sense to me. You can look down this big ass hole and... ah, yeah, right. This is the... I think this is the reservoir we've seen from there. Is it? Let's see. Yeah, it is. There are the ballistas. This is the wooden part that you can sneak around this dude if you don't want to fight him. Then you can drop in here and keep on going without him noticing, but you can also sneak just from there, this way, open the chest, go through there. You don't need this part, but there's a secret. There's this ladder. In my first playthrough, I spent, I think, don't let me lie, like 1 or 2 hours wandering around this part of the area just to get to this location. Because I've seen this door, and it's here, right? We are here in the... here's the dude patrolling, and we just dropped in here. This is good level design. The ladder is for getting onto the roof, I don't know. I mean, you could have put a ladder a bit closer, but who cares? I mean, the architecture is quite fucked here anyways. So we can finally get on this part, and then on this part, down there's the grafted cyan. And I think I'm cutting it off right here. Or maybe not right here. I'm cutting it off in the kitchen. I'm making a cut here. And I end the episode. I end part 2 here. At this particular point, because... oh, maybe let's talk about this after this room, I guess. I have an idea. This is a kitchen. Fire down there, fire up here, and the smoke goes... potentially nowhere, again. You're just inhaling the smoke. Some meat that is probably rotten by now. Some big kettles. Potatoes? Are these potatoes? I haven't seen any potato fields out there. And any other vegetable fields, to be honest. And then there's some weeds here. And oh, these feathers? No, they make more sense. Weeds and herbs and stuff like this, right? Cutlery, some small pans, hooks. So this is a kitchen part and this is the grafting part, quite close to each other. And these are probably the cooks. And then we have this big room where the cyan lies, and this is the feasting room as well. So They're not only grafting here, they're also eating here. Quite the gruesome room. And here is the big-ass picture. Excuse me, I'm standing here. Young man. This is the full picture of Godfrey. With his stand, Sarash. Which is not actually a stand. Oh, standing in water. This is water, right? Never noticed that, but he's pushing me again. But he's standing in the ocean. Quite interesting. But yeah, I'm wrapping this stuff up here now. We have different ways. I'm starting with this one. Here they disassembled this troll. And here, this is quite the important item, so pick it up. It's the most left room. If you're coming down there, you want to go in here. It's the most left room. And then this is a pantry, something with a elevator in it. Again, elevator makes no sense. And this is where I'm wrapping things up, because it leads to this grace again. We're here again. This is quite the big area, this part over here. But yeah, this is where I'm stopping this episode. And I believe I can wrap things up in part 3. I think so. Maybe 1 more hour of rambling like this, and then we're finally done with Stormveil Castle. And then we can do even bigger things, stuff like Leyndell, Volcano Manor, Raya Lucaria. I have to talk about Raya Lucaria because this is quite a strange place, but oh well. Yeah, that's it. See you in the next episode, I hope. Goodbye.